Thank you to Policy Genius for sponsoring today's video.
If you have anyone relying on your income, you need life insurance, it's that simple.
Policy Genius is your one-stop shop for finding and buying the life insurance you need. Getting started is easy. Click the link in the description box or head to policygenius.com/redpoppyranch and answer a few questions about yourself. In minutes, you can compare personalized quotes from top companies to find the lowest price and coverage you need. You could save 50% or more on life insurance by comparing quotes with Policy Genius. Their team of licensed experts will help you understand your options and ensure you apply for the right policy.
Typically, as you get older, life insurance can get more expensive. Don't wait and let Policy Genius help you find the right coverage today.
Policy Genius works for you, not the insurance companies, so you can trust them to offer unbiased advice and help you navigate every step of the shopping and buying process.
There's a feeling of relief that comes with life insurance, knowing that our loved ones are taken care of if something should happen to either one of us.
When you're ready to apply, the Policy Genius team will handle the paperwork and scheduling for free. Head to policygenius.com/redpoppyranch and get your free life insurance quotes and see how much you could save.
Oh, I ain't gonna live like this no more. Most of my life's been waging war till I found peace. I could have swore what she did shook me to the core, and I ain't gonna live like that no more. Well, I ain't gonna live like this no more. Trouble comes when the barmaid pours another for a man who should have found the door. Oh, when I get going, you can hear me roar, and you know I can't live like this no more. Oh, I ain't gonna live like this no more. Hurting as bad as the years before. Living in a lie I can't endure. Oh, I had to cut ties to settle the score. And I ain't gonna live like this no more.
We have gone back and forth for a couple years now about what we wanted to do on the windows. Originally I had wanted shutters, and the more I thought about it, I hated covering up these windows just because they let in so much light. But sometimes at night we would like a little bit of privacy, and we ended up going with just blinds.
Because when our kids are watching TV, you can see the blue glow like 200 yards up the hill.
Yeah.
It is. I don't know how we have gone this long without putting something in the windows. Cedar wanted shutters. I wanted to do the shutters. The more we thought about it, we weren't sure if shutters would be right in this house. So we're just going to do some fairly standard blinds, again, to have the privacy that we want to have.
I just wanted something that I would be able to just push up and have them still be open, like during the daytime, because it really is dark in here. Sometimes especially when it's overcast like this, and I wanted as much sunlight in here as possible. So.
Yeah, I was about to tear the front porch off. Actually, I've already started tearing the front porch off, and now out of nowhere we have 4 days of rain. And so, or 4 days of snow, actually. We have potential for snow. And so I know that Cedars wanted to get this done for a long time. But again, because I want to do everything and I want to touch everything that happens around here, it takes longer to do stuff.
And upstairs, a couple of the windows are really, like the bedroom windows are kind of in a weird spot. And so we weren't sure how the shutters were going to fit.
Yeah.
But we want the same window coverings through the whole house so it doesn't look weird from the outside.
With shutters and with those Roman shades, somebody had to come up here and measure or something, right? Isn't that what the deal was?
We'll have them installed.
And we didn't want the road over winter. We just didn't want anybody trying to get up here that wasn't familiar with the area, I guess. This is a close second. Just getting the blinds put in, giving us that privacy that we've needed for the last few years, getting that brown paper out of the windows.
It's pink. He thinks
It's brown.
The sun has bleached it so it's brown, but they're really pink.
So I'm going to do one window here. We're going to make sure we like it, and then if Cedar's good with it, and if we're happy with how it turned out, then we got all the blinds to do the whole house.
And they're white, nothing fancy. They did have a brown one that I liked that color too, but the same issue. It's the lighting. If you put something dark on the windows, it just makes it darker in here. So I chose white to keep it nice and bright.
And then I can go ahead and put it up like this.
Wow, look at that.
Gives us some privacy. They're not the highest quality blinds I've ever seen, but there it is, 2 down, 2 million to go. Perfect time to tear the roof off. It's all right there, yeah, a little bit wetter, please.
Holding on to the hand of self-destruction. And I'm back to a place that I left a long time
considered leg day? Mm-hmm. That looks good.
On the graves, in the cracks of 1,000 leaves, somewhere in between our past and our future, rolling over all the dividing themes. Are you still listening? Want to be heard by you? Slow fall into the Indian Sea, where the cold and the hot meet, and the powers that be lead. When it's morning and my soul is clear, I look in the mirror and I see that love rolling over. You call me back to bed, I find myself again staring at the edge. Slow fall into the Indian Sea, where the cold and the hot meet, and the powers that be. I rise a child again, wake up a wild wind takes me there. I rise a child again, wake up a wild wind takes me there. Slow fall into the Indian Sea, where the cold and the hot meet, and the powers that be.
Nearly 3 years.
3 years.
We've had the paper in the windows, and it's just hilarious.
It's
What-
so bright in here.
Yeah, what a set of blinds does in the house. So I've been trying to get my wife to use the word amazing in reference to something that I've built for the last I don't know how many years, and putting the
Amazing.
and putting the blinds in. I got an amazing
It's
reaction.
amazing. This is so amazing.
I-
This is where, at the end of the day, you want to come to a nice, comfy bed and where it's
Yeah.
all clean and bright and there's not pink paper in the windows. And
well, you don't want to feel like you're in construction, and we probably ought to get past some of that. Anyway, I've still got a few more I got to do. A couple of years back, this is where Cedar shot the video of the moose that kind of wandered right through our property with a calf. But by having this window right here when I'm editing, what it does for me is it allows me to kind of stare and ponder and think about what's going on. And I regularly think about what I'm going to do with the property. One of the best parts about our property is what I don't know about it. And so it's amazing what an inexpensive improvement like having a set of blinds. Last night, for the first time, our house felt a touch more secure, I suppose. It was maybe even a little bit warmer with those blinds. But on top of that, the second the sun comes out, we open the blinds, especially in this room. And this room that used to be a little bit dark and dingy because of that brown paper now is a beautiful room. So anyway, simple improvements. I didn't even think I was going to be able to get up to the cabin, so I didn't even grab any cameras or anything, but I got my phone, I guess. Because I wasn't prepared to get up here, we weren't able to use this thing all winter long. So I'm going to go in there and see just how well the little cabin handled winter. Hopefully we don't have anything living in there. So far, so good. I don't see anything in here. No mice tearing up the foam pads. Yeah, it just needs to be vacuumed out. Now that I can get up here, I'm gonna build a side shed off of the little cabin at some point and have a little kitchen area, a little place to stack some firewood. And then we're going to start playing around with this thing and start having some fun. We've got a lot of scrap lumber around here that we need to clean up. And a lot of brush, a lot of dead brush that we need to clean up. What's going to happen literally in like the next 10 to maybe 15 days is these trees are going to bud out and then leaf out. And then all of a sudden we have a canopy over the top of everything that's incredibly beautiful. But again, this is the year we're going to start hand picking what trees to leave, what trees to thin, and start working through all of this maple and seeing if we can't do something with it. This is the funnest time of year to me. You watch all the dead maple leaves turn into nutrients for the coming year. And that's why I want to be really picky about how we thin these trees. I most certainly don't want to come in here and just wholesale get rid of everything. But they kill each other. These trees kill each other. It's hard for my wife to understand this. I love these trees, and I recognize that these trees will continue to produce topsoil that's so vitally important. But if I don't do something and start selectively thinning things out, the trees are kind of pointless because the canopy gets so heavy and so thick that you don't even know where you are. This time of year, it is much easier to actually figure out and understand our property before all the grass starts growing and before all the trees fill out. I can actually see. I was standing in front of the cabin and I just looked down here and I actually saw a little spot where I think I'm going to put a little small pond, a little drainage pond, just for the deer and the elk and the turkeys. And it's not going to have a whole lot of water in it most times of the year. But when we do get moisture, I think it'll accumulate for at least a few days. This is the spot right here.
Appalachian sunrise meets my skin. Even with my eyes still closed, I can feel it coming in. Golden, golden, I'll follow only golden, 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 golden things. Mountain laurel high fives for miles in spring. Rainbow trout and a hummingbird wing. Golden, I'll follow only golden, golden, golden things. Gold hair, gold rings, gold leaves, gold anything, golden, I'll follow only golden, golden, golden things. Walk up the river by my son. Feet step over splinters of the moon. Golden, I'll follow only golden, 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 golden things. Gold birds, gold string, gold words, golden.
In spite of the bad weather and what will hopefully be the last winter storm, I've got to get the front porch broke down and prepared to rebuild. I've talked about it many times before, but the weather this time of year is naturally very unpredictable. It looked like we were going to stay above freezing. It felt like we were out of the woods as far as the snowstorms are concerned. And sure enough, as soon as I get the roof off, Mother Nature lays down about 4 inches of the heaviest snow I've ever had to shovel. But regardless of the weather, I know what's right around the corner. And for me, this is the most exciting time of year because I've spent all winter thinking about all the projects I'm going to do outside. And already I'm thinking about how limited the seasons are going to be and how much I'm going to be able to get done before snow flies. I am trying to do everything I possibly can to minimize the damage of the 1x12s as I remove them from the front porch. For some reason, I only used 2 1/4 inch ring shank nails instead of the traditional 3-inch ring shank nails that I like so much, so the 1x12s are coming off without too much effort. Using the cedar post to break them free and then removing them from the roof is going significantly faster than I thought it would. Once the front porch has been broken down and rebuilt correctly, I would like to think that I'm getting pretty close to the end of what I would call the rework phase of our house. Ultimately, the way that I originally framed up the front porch was not done correctly. Because the front porch did not have enough pitch, the snow would not slide off, and therefore too much weight would sit on this front porch, and I'm fairly certain that over time it would have damaged something, probably the supporting posts underneath the front porch. So the new supporting posts are going to be a little bit bigger than the original ones. And of course, it's a little bit irritating that I didn't do this right the first time, but the bottom line is, this is how you learn in real time. My thinking has changed since then. I now have an education different than the education I had back then. So it's really not going to cost that much money to rebuild this, but it is going to take quite a bit of time. And time is the one thing that I seem to have less and less of every day. So I'm going to try and keep the rework projects to a minimum in the future. And as much as learning things the hard way seems to have been a great benefit, I'm ready to be done with that too. So I will spend the next few days fighting this storm that just won't go away, trying to break down the front porch that needs to be repaired for the final time. So every hurricane tie and every Tico nail and every screw that I use to install the roof now gets to be removed, and removed in a way where I don't do any damage. And on the one hand, I'm not having a whole lot of fun, but on the other hand, I am already seeing the new front porch rebuilt in my head, and I couldn't be more happy with the end result. Regardless of what I'm doing and regardless of the spring weather, I'm just happy to be outside. I'm going to get the front porch tore down and put back together pretty quick. Then we're going to talk about all the upcoming projects that we're looking forward to doing this summer. And we are literally days away from our 6th year anniversary and the start of our 7th year here at Red Poppy Ranch. If you are a subscriber here on YouTube, then you are going to start getting some questionnaires and some surveys. And these questionnaires and surveys are all about you and whether or not you would like to come and spend some time here with us at Red Poppy Ranch. If you are not a subscriber, you will not get these questionnaires or surveys. You must understand that by being a subscriber to channels like ours and other similar channels, it helps us all in huge ways. So thank you to those that are subscribed. This position right here on my property has a tendency to be a little bit more accurate than the weather app on my phone, I suppose. Storms have a tendency to come from a very particular direction. We were supposed to get some rain and some snow. The batteries are actually going up, so I just kind of wanted to come and take a look and see what direction this storm is moving in and take a minute to soak in the view. Once I get the water tanks moved into the underground shelter that I'm going to build for them, I really should put a bench or something up here where Cedar and I can come up here and watch the sunsets.